Hey everyone, welcome to the last vlog for 2023. Um, I do apologize for not getting anything out in the last 2 months, other than streaming, and I just haven't been up to streaming the last 2 weeks or so. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and Christmas, and of course we're on the cusp of the new year. Um, my As you guys know, because I've posted about it, my teeth have been killing me. My wisdom tooth over here is pushing against one of my molars, and it's kind of been making me not want to do anything. I just work through the pain. Luckily, I have Tylenol and ibuprofen to help with that for a little bit, and the I was given some antibiotics, and that helped for a little bit. Now, I was supposed to have my surgery to have the molar removed and one of my teeth over here. And but between the oral surgeon having to do a rescheduling and then because he had some kind of family thing going on, um I just haven't had time to really kind of look for another dentist. I mean, because I've been going to this one for a little while. Um, but yeah, it's just been painful. And all I've been kind of wanting to do is either spend time with my family or veg out some play some video games or just pass out because um it's been it's been rough. And you can see on my face it's just been a thing. So but Tuesday I'm going to be calling and scheduling something for as soon as I can in this new year to get this removed. Just plan to take like half a day on Friday, go in, get both of them pulled, and then have like a 2 day, 3 day weekend, maybe take off that Monday just to recover. Um, but yeah, how have y'all been? And once again, I do apologize. I haven't been putting anything out. I have ideas. I have stuff I've recorded. I just haven't felt up to editing anything. Um, Tooth pain sucks, and you should take care of it immediately. Don't be, not that I was being dumb, but just, um, it's not something to play around with, especially considering it's like connected to your brain. You're so close to your mental faculties that you got to worry about stuff. But other than that, everything's been okay. We had a really good Christmas. Thanksgiving was really good. Got to visit with my dad on Thanksgiving and see my nephew and niece and my sister. Um, we played the Zombicide uh Alive or Dead in the West, or I think it's just Alive or Dead, but it's the Western setting. It was really fun. First time finally since I got the board game from the Kickstarter that we got to play it, and it was very enjoyable, very different than the standard Zombicide game if y'all ever played it or if anybody's played it. Really fun zombie board game. Just this one happens to be themed Western. Um, but yeah, we got to do that. I played through and finished um Star Ocean Second Story R. Really good. They did a fantastic job remastering that, um remaking it technically. What else have I gone through? I uh finished Dead Island 2. Really enjoyed that. There's a few there's quite a few side quests I need to finish and then maybe try to start working through the process of platinum the game, but um I kind of moved on to I'm got a $50 gift card to the PSN network to purchase Uh, I picked up Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, the Pixel remasters on my PlayStation, and I started playing through 6. It's kind of helped get my mind off the pain and everything. I'm at the point right now where you come back to Vector with the returners and everything. So when you go to confront Emperor Gestalt, and then you did the whole thing with them going to the area where Realm is, but really fun. I like the whole the boost you get. I've beaten that game so many times. It's nice to be able to like play the way I want to play. I don't care about um the integrity of the game. It's like I've played this game probably 50 times and been or more and beaten it. I deserve to be able to do whatever I want when I play the game. So but it's good to, just to kind of reconnect with that game. And I think the thing that kind of made me want to play it even more again was you know, James Rolfe's video on or the Angry Video Game Nerds video on Final Fantasy 3. And it was kind of funny. He was talking about how that like at one point he never finished the game because he lost his save data. And I had that problem with Final Fantasy 7. I got to the end. I was on that second phase of Sephiroth, couldn't finish him. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back and um, look for some couple items because I knew that there was like some mega elixir. There was a mega elixir I missed and a couple other things. And I was like, maybe I can get a couple more levels and then go in and try to finish them. And saved it. We went to go somewhere, came back, and my save data was corrupted. So I had to start all over again. And that was that was painful because I like literally I got it, I think that Tuesday and was or Monday. I don't can't remember which day it was. And then by that Friday I was at Sephiroth and I was like, man, and I lost my save data and I had to start over. So, but that game is so good. I didn't mind going back and playing through it again. Um, but it's just funny how like we have these similar stories, as people, we have events that happen that, we just may not know about we until we talk about it. But I have a couple things that I want to do as far as some videos, and I meant to put them out this month. I have podcast episodes we've recorded that I haven't edited. Um, we have a new Why We Collect episode that I'm gonna work through and get it out as soon as I can. Um, we on that one it's me, my dad, Retro Ryan and Zombie. So you get to see him come back to do a podcast episode. Um it was great to have both of them on and talk about what we talked about. I don't want to I'll wait till we get it out and then, you guys can see what we discuss. And I have a couple more episodes we want to do for that, as well as that little podcast. And I'm just trying to get caught up with stuff. I think the hardest thing I'm dealing with right now, besides my tooth pain, is my the fact that my wife and son and her parents are in Arizona right now, because her brother is getting married. And the other thing is the reason why they technically went up there was because they were going to uh man, sorry, brain fog. I blame it on the pain. Um, the baby shower because they're pregnant. His girlfriend or fiance and him are gonna have a baby. As far as we know, it's a girl. Don't know the name yet. But it's gonna be awesome to have Edward get to have another cousin, at least on my wife's side of the family. Because I mean, he has tons of cousins from her side of the family, but as far as like her brother, um, it's that's what's really cool is the joy of being an uncle on that side. Um, But yeah, so they're up there for both of those events. Actually, right now the wedding is happening. I just I couldn't take off. Um, I asked earlier, like in November, asking about if I could take off because it was kind of spurred on me about this. And I unfortunately, because we have a small crew for IT at my job, um, they needed somebody at least there to be covering the office and stuff like that. And this week went by really fast as far as the 3 days uh, that I was there, but we just were short staffed. Not short staffed as permanently, but there was a lot of people out. And I was there, and but my wife and son and my in-laws left Tuesday, and it's been rough not having my family in the home. Uh, feel feel a little alone. Um, you know, and I was told by my cousin, well, my wife's cousin, that I should feel lucky, not like trying to make me feel guilty for the fact that I feel lonely at the moment, but that I have a family that I take care of and I help out and I'm always there for, and that because even like whenever I was, as I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, you never thought that when you were 16 that when you're sitting there in your isolation playing video games that having a family and stuff and being lucky about that and knowing that they're going to be there and come back and everything. And it's always hard when you have your family not within the wings of your protection. Um, and it's funny because when they went hiking to one of the mountains over there, my my wife and her brother got lost. And I'm like, that's the worst thing to have happen is like, especially in like one of these parks and or hike trails and stuff. And luckily they were able to find the main road and then they found one of the areas where you people pull off to for the rest stop and stuff. And they called her mom to come get them and stuff. But it's crazy because when you're out there and stuff, you have like no cell reception or reception at all. So that gets scary. Um, but yeah, they're having a good time. I know my son's missing me and my wife's missing me. Yeah, it's hard because we know we're always here together. So and I just don't know how I feel for tonight because with it being New Year's, I was supposed to go with my best friend Jeff to his house, or not to his house, well, his dad's house. And it's I think an hour and a half away. Um, but I just don't feel up to driving that far with my teeth hurting. So I may go over to my buddy, uh, my brother, Josh, and our best friend Jeff, and Jeff, man, Richard. Sorry, man. I'm gonna take some food over there and some charcoal and stuff and some drinks and we'll have some fun. I'll I need to be around people. It's been, like I said, rough. I've been playing video games. I've been watching one of the things I got for Christmas this year was Sequest on Blu-ray. So I watched the first like 5 or 6 episodes. I love that show back in the day. So good. Um, I feel that it sucks that it got canceled, I think, after season three. Um, so I don't know if the story arc ever really kind of got resolved for what they were trying to accomplish. Um, dude, because that's what happens. You have some really good TV shows that come out, and they may get one or two seasons, and then that's it. Like Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles show was really good. I enjoyed the direction they were going, and it was a breath of fresh air for what we have been getting with the films. As being a big Terminator fan, I feel the direction that the movies have gone have sucked. I don't think they understand the fundamentals of what it means to write a story for this type of medium. Um, it like Terminator 3 is so off. Like the fact that if you watch Terminator 2 when the T-1000 goes with the car, it literally states John's age is 10. But in the movie, in the narration for 3, he's like, the Terminator came after me when I was 13. I'm just like, how can you miss this the timeline or how old John Connor was? Um, and then just some of the stupid things in that movie were just dumb. Um, I uh I was hoping for something more. And then whenever we got Salvation, I enjoyed that a lot, at least the direction, because we were finally getting the future war, because that's what we needed to have. We really needed Cameron to come in and just do a either one or two movies in the future war, like right at the apocalypse and then during the future war, or right at the end whenever Skynet's defenses are down and John and his team or his TechCom team go in and find a time displacement equipment, send Reese back, and then send the T-800, the Uncle Bob. But it unfortunately, with uh I mean it was really good. There were some problems with it too. I mean, like how do you have open heart surgery out in the open where viruses are for John? Um, kind of dumb, but I think the storyline from the novelization was better. And then if they would have done the other ending, which would have been stupid, um, and then what they were planning to do with the next three films or next two films would have been awful as well. Um, but and then we got, of course, Genesis and Dark Fate. Genesis at least was a kind of a cool concept, but there was problems with the time travel that didn't follow the lore of what is established within the universe. And then freaking uh Dark Fate was just garbage. Complete utter garbage. Uh Killing off John, dumb move. Just to change it up to have a female character as the new John Connor with these new Terminators that are just like, really? It's awful. It was just awful. But there's a set of books that were written by I can't remember the author's name. I may insert it here in a moment, but it's like the Future War, or it's Terminator 2 Infiltrator. Um, oh, come on, I know these freaking titles and I can't think of them at the moment because I didn't plan to send my head to talk about this. But there's three books, and the first one follows right after the events of the second movie, and then it jumps to like John's maybe 15 or so. Um, and it's really good. Skynet sends back a new type of Terminator that is more human with cybernetic implants. And she's sent back to make sure that Skynet gets built. Um, and then the next one after that is like John trying to stop Skynet from becoming self-aware and fails. Of course, and then Judgment Day happens, and then the final book basically covers the whole like from the day the nukes fall to all the way through the process of when John goes in and sends back the Terminator and Reese. So, but they're really good. I'll probably put the information in the description below so you guys can go check them out. But they're really good reads. Um, and they're what I would have loved to have done because apparently, from what I know, is that the guy who wrote the books worked with one of the screenwriters for the film, and they're, as far as I know, last last I checked, they were officially approved by Cameron as far as like canonical canon, not anything after that. But yeah, no, and why did I start talking about that? I don't remember now. Sorry, I don't mean to yawn. But yeah, what else? Yeah, I was talking about Sequest TV shows. That's why. Um, I watched my cousin, my wife, cousin-in-law came over, Thomas, and we watched on Friday before I passed out. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He'd never seen it. And it was really cool for him to realize where the story was going and that it's almost like this alternate revisionist history. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic film, one of my favorites. I love the dynamic between um, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio and just everything about it. It just touches on a certain nostalgia. Um, and especially when you get to that climax at the end, whenever the events that happen. Because I don't want to say anything if people haven't seen it, but I do highly recommend that you check it out. Um, and what else? I watched The Creator. That was really, really good. Technology was fantastic. The characters, um, the what was that? I was talking with my dad about it and how that movie um was was so good. Like just the technology and um compared to like he was telling me about how like he didn't like Rebel Moon and how that it's just like it was pulling stuff from other stories besides what the novelization was about and how that there was no real like good characters in it. And it just everything was like a trope. Um and he didn't enjoy it. I haven't watched it yet myself, but um yeah, not trying to hate on it, but yeah, if you want to go check it out, check it out. But yeah, other than that, I've been trying to find different like right before Christmas, I was trying to find some good stuff from Ross and Ollie's, and I found another place called DD's Discounts, and apparently they've been getting a ton of figures like G.I. Joe and Halo stuff, Masters of the Universe, um, He-Man for those who don't know, Masters of the Universe. What else? Like Transformers. I mean, it was the place to go because apparently all the stores were dumping all this merchandise because they weren't selling it. They didn't sell it during Black Friday. And I wonder where some of the stuff that they were getting was from because it seemed like I never saw it in stores. So there's probably a possibility that some of the stuff was sitting in warehouses because they didn't have the space to put it on the floor. Whether that be because, mismanagement of the companies, the retail stores, or Hasbro or um NECA. Well, yeah, NECA too, because there was some NECA figures that were being found. Um, even like McFarlane Toys and Mattel, of course. So it was really cool being able to find stuff. I even was able to get some G.I. Joe figures of the classified line for my son. And I told him, I said, uh, I'm gonna start trying to buy, him a set and me a set. Not everything, but enough. And it was nice being able to find like $5 figures versus $24 figures. And this is something. we definitely need to talk about on probably why we collect, about the problems that we're facing with the toy industry, and considering like Hasbro laid off a bunch of people and all the shenanigans that are going on with that. And it's like when you constantly keep raising the prices for people, and then you're flooding the market with stuff, but then you have it at a high price point, you're pricing people out of the collecting process. There's tons of guys right now in the community that are completely like getting out of the whole classified line. So they're selling their whole stuff. Um, and that's sad, you know. We've been getting some really good figures. We just got the HasLab His Tank, which is stupid that they're not going to sit there. I don't understand the process for what they're doing with the HasLab stuff. I get it. You want to create this special item for the collectors, but you're pricing it out of like parents that want to get this stuff for their kids. You know, they may have collected GI Joes when they were younger and they just can't afford it. They can't share that love with them to reintroduce it. Oh, well, here, maybe we'll find some old, GI Joe figures at a thrift shop that isn't going to charge you your arm and a leg because these toys are expensive now. Um, and then on top of that, you have like the whole toy market literally being for collectors. Um, and because they're doing that, they're pricing it out for the kids. The parent can't afford what's going on right now with like the economy and everything else going on. But toys. Um, so it's either here's your phone, play and vegetate, because even with video games, they're getting expensive. I understand that it takes longer lead times to make and develop stuff, but you got to find a happy medium that the consumer base can handle. And this was a big eye opener, I hope, for some of these companies because we showed that we want the product, but we don't want the product the price they're offering. There's no reason that we should be having to get a figure, 6-inch figure, detailed with really cool stuff, but no window, just some art. And then like on top of that, like I've noticed that some of these boxes we're getting, um, the cardboard they're using is cheap. It's almost like paper. So I even like how this stuff is shipped, like if I kept this in the box, I gotta know that like my box is like messed up because it got messed up in shipping or in the process of putting in the box of shipping because I've had that happen too. Um, I got the Fire Team Elite set in Friday, and the that box is like flimsy. Um, so it makes it difficult because if that box gets damaged or open, it's like, well, now I have to either go find another one or open it or just keep it the way it is. Um, so if and I understand. Some people collect for different reasons. I don't collect to resell. I collect because I like displaying my stuff. It's my window into my past and my present and the friends I make along the way and the memories of my family and the things that they purchased were for me and the Christmases and everything else. Um, it keeps my mind fresh. And people have different reasons why they collect. Some people collect because, this is their retirement fund. They figure if they sit on this stuff for the next 20 years, 30 years, they'll have a good little nest egg. But right now, you're getting to the point where my son doesn't know who this guy is unless I show him the cartoon. There's no new cartoon to advertise who these characters are. Um, I'm pretty sure the kids aren't buying comics either, unless their parents were into comics and stuff. Like I was, but I don't buy comics anymore. Um, and I still want to collect that GI Joe, the Real American Hero relaunch line that IDW has been doing. Um, but the problem is that it's cheaper for me as a consumer to buy the omnibuses, the collected volumes. But as far as I know, they're not doing them. Um, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't really go to comic book shops. Um, so I don't know. it's a weird thing. It really is. And then on top of that, you have really good Transformer figures or other figures, and they cheap out in the molding. Like here is G2 Prime, the laser prime as they call him. You know, really cool, really cool transformation stuff. But then you look at the back, you got these like cheaping out on the plastic here. Instead of having that be a full thing for no reason, it's empty. And this one isn't too bad, but there are other figures I have that it's like it's you have holes in the arms, holes in the legs, um, and it's like why? And if they wouldn't be putting out these other Transformer figures that are for the younger kids that are um even more cheap than these, uh they could put that plastic in here and then sell it to the kids as well. Because it's not like this figure here is uh so obscure because at least we have Transformer cartoons and things like that that people can watch. Um Kids can watch. We don't even have Saturday morning cartoons and it sucks. Um but yeah, I mean overall this year's been good as far as the toys and I do want to do a couple videos here of a few Holy Grail items I picked up. I also want to maybe show off like some of my favorite Transformers this year I got or other figures that were really captivated my imagination that was awesome to get. Um like my dad being getting me Skull Mountain or that the 40th anniversary He-Man. There is the Thing figures, you know, I never thought I'd ever really get a McCready, and I got three McCreadys on top of that. We're also getting the dog with the mutations, the dog creature. I would love for the rest of the crew to be done, the Outpost 31 crew. I don't know if we'll ever get it. A lot of times, sometimes they got to get the approval of the licenses from the family to make figures for them. But I know that like you have the whole entire crew for Aliens. You have the all the Marines from Alien and Aliens. Um, you have most of the characters for Terminator. Why can't I get the whole? And you're like over here, you got most of the Back to the Future characters. There's like Jennifer, maybe the dad, his mom, that they could do. At least some of those actors are still alive. It'll be hard to get Crispin Glover, but um, I'm still waiting for them to release the stuff for Back to the Future 3. I'd love to have Clint Eastwood, Marty, and Doc and Mad Dog, but we'll see, because we got all the Gargoyles figures, which I had to stop for right now because it's just too much. There's too many things coming out, and the prices are insane. It's like, how do you keep up? I mean, I am collecting things all over. I collect modern, vintage, and everything in between, video games, movies, toys. And I'd love to like there's Lego sets I'd love to get, but I just can't afford it. Um, and this isn't me complaining. I just like it's uh it is complaining, but it's not complaining on the fact that like I don't have money or anything like that. It's just like I'm complaining because we need some people to be vocal about this. Some people to speak with their wallets. Maybe go without some of these things to show that, hey, what you're doing isn't right, or we don't approve of this because we need people to be vocal. Yeah, I love my GI Joes. I love my Transformers. I love my turtles over here, but I don't mind missing out to send a message to these companies that, you know, um, I like your product, but I can't keep up. You're just flooding the market with it. And then stores just don't have the real estate space like they did back when we had Toys R Us's to sell this stuff. That's why, like, the secondary market or third party market for figures is does well, or at least better. You have Entertainment Earth and you have Big Bad Toy Store, both great sites. Price is a little bit high, but I understand, you run a business and you're not a um main retailer, you know. So and all your stuff is also shipped and it's not in a storefront. So that can be a problem. Um, but at least, you have that avenue. Um, Whereas, like, one of the problems that I face was that because I live in a big city, you know, yeah, I may see in my collectors groups, hey, we found this at this location, this location. But then I go over there, it's gone. Or I get off of work and I head over there and they're gone. They're all picked through. Um, there's such a big collector community here. Um, whether it be part of some of the Facebook groups I'm in or not. Um, so there's a lot of people that are doing it. And then you have the resellers that go in and they buy bulk of this stuff and just to flip it. And then it makes it to where it's hard for us to go find it. And I don't want to feed these guys that are like wanting to sell a figure that's 25 already and then, having to pay an extra 35 on top of that plus shipping. It's like, oh, I gotta pay for me going around and driving for it. Dude, you've already paid for your stuff like when you went and picked up a few things. Um, that's why some of the guys that I'm in with are great, the for cost, will you pay for it with whatever plus tax. Or if you that plus shipping, that's completely understandable. But when you're adding another 10, 15, 30% on top of what the cost of the figure is, and then charging shipping, I don't know. That's a bit much. Um, it's still too rich for my blood and some of my friends. Geez, there's this. That's why it was really cool this last 2 months being able to go to a Ross and finding things that weren't hitting that you couldn't find on the shelves. And it's like you wonder, is there's this artificial inflation or not artificial inflation, but this artificial scarcity or yeah, scarcity of these figures. Um, that's created between the retailers and uh the retailers and the manufacturers so they can drive up demand. And I don't know how many times I've gone in to Target looking for Return of the Jedi Luke, uh Darth Vader with the removable helmet, and R2 from Return of the Jedi. So the three figures that are supposed to be part of the 40th anniversary line. And all I keep seeing is Han, Leia, Luke in the maybe, and Lando in the skiff gear. I already have those figures. And I was like, you mass produce these and you put a bunch of them on the shelf, but you didn't leave room for other figures that are coming out. Um, the same thing with like Motu. Sorry if my hair's all messy. I've been sleeping on the couch. I don't know. I have a bed here, but it's a mess at the moment. I'm working on trying to clean the room and clean the house in between the pain and playing video games and everything else. But yeah, I don't know. I felt this year was really good for collecting, but then in the same token, it was very, very hard, because there were times I would be looking for something and I just couldn't find it. And I had to rely on some of my friends. I had to connect with my buddy Rob and see if he could get it. But I did get some really cool items. I things that I never thought I'd be able to get. And that's one of the things we're talking about, like the Holy Grail items, a video I'm gonna do. Actually I want to do one on video games as well because There were some really cool games. I'm gonna do a video with the four video games monthly boxes that I just ran out of time to do. I'm gonna try to get those current and do that. I apologize. I really do. I'm sorry that like life has kind of gotten in the way and um, for my subscribers and the community I've created and my friends. Um, and the inspirational messages and the thoughts of being a dad, um, and my perspective on stuff. The podcast is behind, and I didn't even get to do stuff for really much at all for Thanksgiving. I mean, well, not Thanksgiving, but for Halloween. I planned out some big stuff that we wanted to do, and between work and life and everything else, I just and it's not just me. It's my dad and Colin and David. We all have lives that are going on, and we get busy, and sometimes it's hard for and we get sick or we got something going on in the family, and we just can't uh get together to record. But what I want to do this next year is make sure that sorry about the noises, my phone's beeping. Uh, is to stay current. I want to have a steady stream schedule for when I do stream. Um, some of the stuff I want to stream that, I feel that represent me and that I will be enjoy doing. One of them would be Ironhander. I want to play through all the Metal Gear games live. From Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, all the way from Solid to Phantom Pain. And that'd be nice. I know that this next year we got the Suikoden collection 1 and 2. I'm gonna play through those. There's um the spiritual successor entry in Odyssey, I think it is, or whatever. Eddie Chronicles, Edo Chronic. I can't speak right now, guys. I'm sorry. And my brain's foggy. But it's okay. I'm here. I'm doing this. I gotta get it out there for you guys. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of games I want to play. I want to make sure that we get the podcast on a regular basis. I'm actually working on a video that I'm hopefully going to get out this next week. Um, Something that I've been talking with Ryan about, and it needs to get out there. I'm about halfway through it. I got to get some more clips from it and put some stuff to it. I got some music I'm working on to add into it with my Uncle Colin, and hopefully I'll get this out this next week, because or this week. Um, because there's things that I'm lacking. I need to maybe do an overlay, but it'll be a little hard when I'm playing on my PS5. But I'm gonna look at getting a camera. Uh, that's at least that way, you guys can see me when I'm streaming and see my messy house. Not joking. It's only messy because I'm trying to clean it right now. Um, but yeah, oh yeah, Godzilla -1 was fantastic. I think it's my movie of the year right now. I'm looking forward to watching it again in black and white. I love the idea that they went back in and touched some of the CGI, and they're adding that feature for people to go see it in theaters again. So I'm totally down to go see that. Anytime I could see Godzilla, which like Kong versus or Godzilla versus Kong or Godzilla X Kong, I think it is, or something. I don't remember now. That looks fantastic. I love the whole like Godzilla looking like Godzilla 2000, the Millennial Godzilla, and them teaming up to go fight this uh, other Kong character that they've added. But sorry, try not to yawn. Um, then there's toy reviews I want to do. I got my NECA turtle party van in. I got to clean off my table so I can actually set a backdrop up and be able to review that. I'm working on some stuff in the house. I got shelving I'm putting up this week, so I can start really displaying my collection. Um, since we don't know what we're going to be doing with the house, whether we're going to try to buy it or we're going to move, I don't want to put too much more money into fixing up that room. So all our other funds are kind of being redirected to either we need to put a down payment on a home, um, or we need to, put a fund together to fix the house. Not that the house is broken, but there's things that need to be fixed. And that's what happens when you have a house that's 70 years old or so. Probably a little bit more than that. Um, but I don't know. I miss my family, and I'm ready to get done with this tooth pain and so I can start getting back into my normal routine and making content for you guys and hopefully being a positive influencer, whatever, um, for you all, because we all go through stuff and depression sucks. Um, health problems suck. The world sucks right now. But that's all we can do. All we can do is be there for each other and you know, reach out to those ones that look like they're having trouble and just let them know you're there for them. But in the meantime, I guess the question for this episode is going to be if you made it this far. Um, what are you looking forward to in 2024? Let me know down below and I'll be happy to read them and comment. So I hope everyone has a great year and you achieve some of your dreams. Don't ever give up on those dreams. I hope that, you make new friends, find love, change things in your life for the better. Um, spend time with your kids, your family. But in the meantime, everyone, have a wonderful New Year's, and I'll see you then.